What's going on, guys? So the biggest question on The Flash recently is, who is the man in the iron mask? People seem to care more about this reveal than when we were guessing about Zoom, shown clearly by the number of views on these two videos. Anyways, you guys destroyed the comment section with your theories, and in this video I plan to clear a few things up that might just lead us to who the man in the iron mask is. I've seen a bunch of people named in this guessing game, such as Barry, Eddie, the real Jay Garrick, Eobard, Ronnie, Henry Allen, and most of all, Wally West. Now, I hate to crush the dreams of all the Wally West theorists out there, but this photo clearly shows that the man in the iron mask is white, and unless we're getting the white Wally West, you're out of luck. We could almost eliminate Barry and Ronnie as well, because in the photo, it looks like the guy has blondish hair, where Ronnie and Barry have darkish brown hair. Although, with lighting, it could make their hair seem a little bit lighter than it usually is, so I'll give you a speck of hope, but I'm not holding my breath. Another reason people think that it might be Barry is because of that whole missing Flash in 2020 photo from season 1. People feel that Zoom caught him and maybe that's why he's missing. I feel like the Flash writers are going to use that storyline as we get closer to that year. So they wouldn't waste that storyline with the man in the iron mask. Next up is Ronnie. This is the second biggest guess behind Wally West. Now, a few people in the comments pointed out if Ronnie was still alive, Professor Stein should be able to sense him. I totally agree with this, but the counter argument would be maybe he can't sense him because he's in a whole nother universe. Decent argument, but I don't think it's a solid one because Cisco's able to sense things on Earth too, so why would it not be possible for Stein? Also, let's not forget that they already used Ronnie as Deathstorm and killed him off. I don't think the writers of The Flash want to keep Ronnie around because the actor has a few projects going on outside of The Flash. Making Ronnie the man in the iron mask only for him to leave would be a totally bad move, especially because he would be breaking Caitlyn's heart for the third time. Unless that third heartbreak makes her become Killer Frost. But Caitlyn doesn't have the metahuman gene, so that's a no-go. Let's knock out this next one quickly. Eobard, the Reverse Flash, is totally not the man in the iron mask. He's already the Reverse Flash. He was part of the big reveal in season 1, and you want him to be a part of the big reveal in season 2? No way! That would be terrible writing, which is something the Flash doesn't have. It's not Thawne. But some people think it might be his ancestor, Eddie. I feel like the Eddie theory is in the same boat as Ronnie is because people are using the whole getting sucked into a vortex or a portal as the reason it could be them. Let me tell you why it's not Eddie. At the end of season 1, Eddie shoots himself in the heart to save everybody from Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash disappears from existence because Eddie is his ancestor, and if he dies, the Reverse Flash is never born. So Eddie had to die. Really die for that to happen. We literally saw Reverse Flash vanish from existence, guys. There is no way that Eddie survived that whole ordeal. Just not a chance. Now, some people might say that it's Earth 2 Eddie, which that is a total possibility because his name was on that phone, but I find it highly unlikely. The reason I say this is because the Flash gave Eddie the perfect send-off when Barry went back in time and had him record that video for Iris. The reason why it's not going to be Ronnie or Eddie is because the writers don't want the same story over and over again. That's what you're going to get if you bring them back. I've heard that Earth 1 Hunter Zolomon might be the man in the iron mask. No, just no. You want him to be Jay Garrick, Hunter Zolomon, Zoom, and the Iron Mask Man? Hell no, no way that happens. That leaves us with two people that are by far the most likely to be the man in the iron mask. I'm gonna say who I think it is first because the last one has so many variables. I think the man in the iron mask is the real Jay Garrick, and what I base this off of is why did he tap Jay on the freaking glass to Barry? Some would say that the Iron Mask Man knew that Zoom was faking, so that's why he tapped Jay. Valid point, but I'm gonna ask you, where did Zoom get the name Jay Garrick? Another thing, how did he get the freaking suit? I've seen people comment, it's Hunter Zolomon's dad's suit. Oh my god, Hunter Zolomon's dad is the man in the iron mask. No! It can't be his dad because how do you explain the name Jay Garrick? It's not just a name that Zoom thought of. There has to be some meaning behind it, and that is why I think the man man in the Iron Mask is the real Jay Garrick. The last person has so many things on how they can and can't be the man in the Iron Mask that it makes my head hurt. The last person being Henry Allen, and from the start, I think he's a little too big to be the Iron Mask man, but at the same time, I think he has the same hair and neck scruff. But let's get away from the physical appearance and talk about other reasons why he can and can't be the man in the Iron Mask. I'm gonna start off with why I think he can't be the man in the Iron Mask, because if he is, I'm going to be extremely pissed off. The reason why I think he's not is because John Wesley Shipp, the actor who plays Henry Allen, also played the Flash in the 90s, who was named Barry Allen. Now, if you remember, we saw this Flash in the Time Vortex, so we know he exists somewhere on some Earth. I know what you're thinking, that doesn't explain why he can't be the man in the Iron Mask. That is true, but again, how do you explain Jay Garrick? How do you explain he's a real person? Now, to counter my point, Henry Allen or John Wesley Shipp could be the man in the Iron Mask if he is the real Jay Garrick. And if he is, I'm going to be extremely pissed off. Because that makes no fucking sense. You can explain something like 90s Flash meeting present Flash. They both look different, but they have the same name. With creative writing, you can say that the 90s Flash has been the Flash for over 30 years. That's why he looks older, and since Barry's dad looks like that, it would make sense. Now, I know there's a counterpoint out there thinking, well, since his mother's maiden name was Garrick, couldn't Henry Allen just look like a family member? Yes, totally! But not with the way The Flash has been written this season. The writers of The Flash have molded season 2 into freaking 2 universes with the same people with different personalities. The characters look exactly the same with the same names. Granted, some of them have powers, but they still look the same. You can't just take that mold and break it because you want a crazy reveal at the end of season 2. That's terrible writing. Can't have someone look like Henry Allen and then name them Jay Garrick. That's not the way the doppelgangers work in this universe. If they would have never shown that clip of 90s Flash, all of this could have made sense. But since they did, if John Wesley Shipp is the man in the Iron Mask as Jay Garrick, everything is fucked. Feel free in the comment section to tell me how it's not. The last thing I want to talk about in regards to the man in the Iron Mask is, have you ever wondered why he has an iron mask? Seriously, nobody asks that question. I mean, because if it was the real Jay Garrick, nobody knows who the fuck the real Jay Garrick is, so couldn't you just have him in the cell? Of course not. Not if he's a speedster. I think we can all agree that the man in the Iron Mask is some type of speedster. So that means speedsters can phase through shit. One thing we know about speedsters, according to The Flash, is when you freaking phase through something, if something is not a part of your body or suit, that thing will not go through you with whatever you're phasing through. We saw this in one of the Trickster episodes when Barry's wearing that bomb on his wrist and he phases through that freaking truck or whatever and the bomb stays on the other side. But if he tried to phase through the glass with a helmet that would stay on the other side, it would decapitate him. Thought I should just mention that in case you're wondering why a speedster wouldn't just be able to phase through that damn box like Barry did. Barry didn't freaking have a helmet on, and I don't think Zoom thought Barry was strong enough to phase through that box. Anyways, you know I want to know what you think about all of this crazy Iron Mask Man theories. Did anything I talk about in this video change your mind? Do you think the man in the Iron Mask is the real Jay Garrick? Or is it Henry Allen as the real Jay Garrick? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your Iron Mask buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, guys, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bow!